Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia, and Senior Insights is a channel that's all about dealing with aging subjects, like aging like fine wine, bold, wise, and maybe a little bit fruity or nutty. Today we're going to be talking about 6 tips to a healthier, sharper brain in the elderly. Because let's face it, forgetting why you walked in the kitchen is not as bad as forgetting where you put the chocolate. Now, let's get started. We're going to do 6 tips and tricks. And this is Tips and Tricks Tuesday, which I had shared with you that I was planning on doing, themed days. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but possibly next Tuesday we'll do another tips and tricks. So anyway, let's get started. The first oh my gosh, I need to stimulate my brain. Anyway, I'm not going to edit that out because that's me, that's how I am, and it's too bad if you don't like it. Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Guess what that means? They're not talking about losing your car keys. They're talking about using your mind, exercising your brain. So tip number 1 is use it or lose it. And the ways you can use your brain, well, of course, everyday living, but we're going to talk specifically about things like crossword puzzles, which you've heard over and over again. And I did a little research on YouTube on this subject, and everybody talks about crossword puzzles. Now, I don't do crossword puzzles unless they're really very simple. I'm not capable, even when I was at my prime, to do the New York Times crossword puzzle. However, I can do simpler ones, and for those of you who are challenged too much by the New York Times crossword puzzle, or even the newspaper crossword puzzle, you can find a book that's geared for seniors that can't deal with those challenges. You can do word searches. My father used to do word searches all the time, and he was as sharp as a tack. I'm sure it wasn't totally because of the word searches, but he enjoyed them, and he got pleasure out of them. They kept him busy, and he was stimulating his mind. I like video games. I play video games. I know that they have been proven to stimulate your brain and to get those synapses and those electrical charges in your brain to get working. And they also, many of these activities increase the level of serotonin, increase the production of serotonin, which is the happy substance that your brain produces when you're decreasing your stress. So you want to decrease your stress. That also helps with brain power. So that's tip number 1. Use it or lose it. Tip number 2 is move that body and boost the brain. So this is another thing we've talked about. We've talked about practically all of these things, and none of us do them. We don't follow through. We listen and they say, yeah, we say, yeah, that's a good thing. I should probably do that. And then we do it for one day and then we don't do it again because it was too hard, or we had to get up too early, or whatever the reason is. If you're not able to move your whole body, maybe you can move your upper body and you can move and rock back and forth. You can hunch your shoulders. You can move your arms if you can. If you can't, ask someone to move your arms for you. Make sure, if you're not able to move and you're bedridden, that you ask someone to roll you over, and you change your position every 20 minutes. Oh, this is the nurse in me coming out. This doesn't have anything to do with stimulating your brain. But if you lay in one position or you sit in one position for more than 20 minutes, you can get a bed sore. And you don't want that, trust me. You don't really want that. I've seen some big holes in butts. Anyway, you can do yoga. Now, I cannot see me doing yoga poses that I used to do when I did yoga. However, on YouTube, there are yoga channels that are geared specifically to the elderly. Some of them are chair yoga, some of them are standing, you can find something on YouTube that will help you perform simple yoga in a chair if you're not able to do real yoga. I can't get down on the floor, but some people can. Here's another one. If you're sitting in your chair all day and that's what you have to do, even if you're in a wheelchair, you can rock back and forth. Notice me when I'm in this chair, I'm always wiggling around, twisting around. My brain must be really pretty sharp by now, because I've noticed in these videos I'm always moving and wiggling and whatever. But you can do that. And I noticed when I was looking through I was on Facebook and these reels keep coming up. One of them is selling a rocking panel that you put behind your back and you rock. Well, I suppose if you're not doing any kind of activity, then that's a good thing. I have one of those rockers, like a Canada rocker or a Canadian rocker. I don't know what the proper term is, and I don't want to insult anyone by saying it incorrectly. But I sit there and I push with my knees and I rock forward and backwards. And I'll tell you, that was, if anyone's having a knee replacement or knee surgery, that is really good. It's also good if you have discomfort in your knees. It helps keep that knee joint going. So that's, you could do weights while you're sitting watching TV. Just a 1 pound weight, a soup can or something like that. Just anything, hunch your shoulders, anything. Do as I say, not as I do, because I don't necessarily do all these things either. I'm not any better than anyone else, but I'm telling you, I keep doing the research, and the research keeps telling me the same things. Okay, tip number 3, eat smart. And no, not just ice cream and not just chocolate. I love ice cream. I always have ice cream in my freezer. And you know what else I like? I like ice pops. They're not popsicles, they're fruit. I think they're Edie's fruit pops. Anyway, they're really good. They're not cheap though. Anyway, I'm sure you don't really care about that. But if you eat properly, you eat your 3 meals a day or your 6 meals a day if you're a grazer. I'm a grazer. I don't eat like a full meal at a sitting usually. But you should be having salads. You should be having vegetables. You should be having berries, the antioxidants, and you should be having nuts and omega-3s. And yes, even dark chocolate. That's good for you. Good for your brain health. So I'm going to pause this video right now, and I'm going to ask you to pause your video right now and to click like if you're so inclined. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to click like, but I have noticed that the videos turn over very fast. So if you've been watching and you stick it out to the end, which a lot of people do not, then the opportunity to click yes is gone, a thumbs up. So please do that now if you don't mind. Tip number 4, socialize and laugh a lot. Try to socialize. I'm not a socializer too much. I like humor. But it's funny, if you asked me, if you recommended a movie that was a comedy, I would say, oh, I don't like comedy. But there are some comedians that I will sit and watch, and I'll laugh by myself. There's a few that do like short videos on YouTube. So search for comedians. Some of them, maybe are a little off color, but some of them are not. And there's even Christian comedians. So you can find something that you like and just give yourself a little dose of humor 10 minutes a day. It's good for you. It keeps the circulation going in your brain. I'm not kidding. Join a book club, or better yet, start one and call it Old, Wise, and opinionated. Because that's what we are. Tip number 5, keep learning new tricks. New tricks are good. Learn new tricks. How about this one? Learn a new language. Go to Italy and prepare yourself for going to Italy. I think learning a language might be a little too steep of a challenge, but maybe not. You could probably learn some key words so that you could order breakfast or something if you were in a foreign country. Or just the challenge of learning it and being able to say it, or saying hello to someone. It's kind of fun. But how about those people that used to play the piano and they haven't touched the piano in 10 years or 15 years? Go and sit at the piano and see if anything comes back. If it doesn't, go on YouTube and find someone who will refresh your memory. It'll come back. It's probably like my ballet experience. You know the moves, you know the names of the steps, but you don't have to leap in the air. You can sit there in a chair and you can play the piano. How about learning to paint? That's something that I did. I'm not good at it. I don't claim to be good at it, but I enjoy it. It takes your mind right. You have to focus right on what you're doing, and everything else, it empties out all your worries, all your anxiety, all the stress that you were thinking about before you got your paints out. So I would strongly encourage someone to do that. And you know what? You're going to laugh at me on this one too, but start a YouTube channel. Think about it. For those of you who know me, you can see, I'm sure, how good it has been for me. Well, trust me, this was something new. And I am learning every single day, and I am making mistakes every day, and I have to correct them. Sometimes I don't correct them. Sometimes you're watching a video and all of a sudden there's a white screen that goes quickly by, or the music goes into the, I don't care. I'm learning. I am doing the best that I can, and I get better every single day. So you can do it too. Learning new tricks. And then last but not least, I saved this one for last. Sleep. Sleep and relaxation. You need to go to bed at the same time. You need to get up at the same time. You need to sleep. I'm not exactly sure what the amount of sleep that you should have as someone, a senior. And of course, we're all different ages, so I'm not going to recommend an amount of sleep. I get about seven. I don't take a nap. I'm very rarely tired during the day. Sometimes if I'm reading, my eyes get tired and I notice that I nod off. Even that's pretty rare. But sleep and relaxation is important to renew and refresh your mind. So let's recap. Challenge your mind, work your body, laugh a lot, eat smart, keep learning, and sleep a lot. Sleep a lot. And if you're still sharp enough to hit the like button and the subscribe button, please do that. And give me some comments about if you have any tips and tricks to keep your mind sharp. Thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you, and come back again. I forgot to tell you that you are a walking, talking miracle.